Hello, thank you for stopping on my video. My name is Becky and this is Becxreadz. I post videos every 5 days and if I can manage, I will squeeze some in between. And today, I think I have my first haul of 2023. I'm pretty sure it does. I don't know how many books are here, but these are the books that I have accumulated since January 2023. I did do a 2.5 month book buying ban at the beginning of the year, so I was good until like mid-March. And then I just said, screw it. And I went crazy. So first up, I have Master of Storms by Beck McMaster. This is the 5th book in her Legends of the Storm series, which is a fantasy dragon shifter romance series. I read this one this year and I absolutely loved it. It got 6 stars for me. So I bought it and I can add it to my collection. I thought I was done with this series. I did. I thought I was done. And then I looked and apparently there's another book coming out. But I'm caught up, so that's something. Next up, another book that I can just add straight to my already read shelf is Wraith Kings, this beautiful bind-up that Grace Draven put out. This is a bind-up of Radiance and Eat Along. It's just so beautiful, and I can just add it along with the other copies of Radiance and Eat Along that I have. This is the only book series that I have multiple copies of. Another book that I've already read, and I believe I got this one from my friend Kristen, and it is The Glamorous by Luann G. Smith. This is the 2nd book in the Vine Witch series. I have already read this. I really enjoyed it, so I can just add it to my shelf. I don't know where the Vine Witch is at, but it's going to go next to it. I then got some books for Valentine's Day, one of which was A Court of Honey and Ash. This is I think it's either a young adult or new adult fantasy romance. I've heard good things. I've heard it's a really cute series. So I'm hoping that I can really enjoy this one. Another one that I got for Valentine's Day from my sister is Mame by Jessica George. I know nothing about this book. Absolutely nothing. It's got very bright color. I think it is just like a literary fiction. I don't know, but I'll give it a try. I had a Barnes & Noble gift card from Valentine's Day, and I used that to buy Murder Your Employee, McMaster's Guide to Homicide. I did a vlog where I went and I bought this. I will link it down below if you want to go check that out. Again, one I know nothing about. The cover caught my eye because of the shine, and I just thought the title Murder Your Employee. I liked it. So I've only heard one other person talk about this, and I can't remember who it was, but they said it was just okay, so that doesn't give me the greatest of hope, but I'm still interested to give it a try. I then bought 2 books with illustrated covers. I know, who am I? Who am I? The girl who hates illustrated book covers. So, I got What the Cat Dragged In. This is a contemporary romance. I know nothing about it. All I knew was that it had a cat in it, and I don't mind these 2 illustrated people because they actually have faces, you know, and they don't just look like clip art cutouts. I still don't love it, but I'm evolving, folks. But I picked it up the same day, and that is Icebreaker. I got this one because people had said that it was super spicy. It is a hockey romance about a hockey player and a figure skater, and it's new adult. I've heard mixed things about it, but I'm willing to give it a try. I then got a copy from Unplugged Book Box. I was one of their winter reps for the first 3 months of the year, and in one of their boxes I got The Sleepless by Victor Manabo. I don't know how you say it. This is, I believe, a psychological sci-fi thriller, not sure. Something way outside my normal genre taste. I am willing to give it a try though, see if I like it. It does have stenciled edges. It's got under the dust jacket art. So it's not one that I'm like super excited to read, but I do think I will eventually do like an Unplugged Book Box reading vlog where I read the 3 books that I got from them during my rep period and see if I enjoy them. I got another book for Valentine's Day, and that was The Ship of Shadows by Maria Kuzner. This is a middle grade sort of piratey fantasy story. I really am looking forward to reading this. It has like a cute little step back, which I thought was cute. I don't know anything about this. All I know is I have read one other book by Maria Kuzner and I liked it, so hopefully I enjoy this one. I picked up The House Witch by Delamoch. I don't know. I saw Hannah Blackwell reading this, and she said it was a cozy fantasy, and I'm really wanting to read more cozy fantasy, and I just liked the title The House Witch. Know nothing about this book. Didn't even read the synopsis. I just heard cozy fantasy and witch, and I was like, I want to read that. So hopefully I like this. I then got sent an ARC for review, and that is The Hanging City by Charlie N. Holmberg. This releases, I believe, in September 5th. Yes. So this will be her upcoming release. I believe it is about a troll. There might be a romance involved. I'm not exactly sure. I did read the synopsis before, and it was one that was on my radar before I got sent an ARC, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I featured this one in a vlog where we did a bookstore adventure there at Head House Books, and that is The Hollow Heart. This is a young adult fantasy, I believe. Didn't realize this was a sequel. So I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to read the first book in this to get to this one, and hopefully I like it. Otherwise it was a waste of my money. This is an example of why I need to read synopsis. I went to the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia as well, and at their gift shop I picked up Boy of Bone, 12 stories inspired by the Mutter Museum. This cover is just, it caught my eye. I did ask the clerk there, is this fiction or nonfiction? And she said it was fiction, and it's just stories. They're inspired by the bodies that are in the Mutter Museum. But it does have full color illustrations as well, which is really cool. So I'm not too big on short stories, but because this came from the Mutter Museum and I like the Mutter Museum, I'm willing to give it a try. This next stack of books are all books that I got in the month of April. I went to my local used bookstore. I took a bunch of my books that didn't sell on Pango, and I got store credit. So I ended up getting The Heretic Royal by Gia Aiken. I have already read this. I really enjoyed it. It is the third book in her Scarred Earth series, which is a sort of centaur shifter, Viking-esque fantasy story. I really enjoy it, and this is the latest book that I can add straight to my shelf. I then picked up 11,000 Years Lost. This is a time travel middle grade story. I really didn't read the synopsis too thoroughly. All I read was that it involved time travel. And I like time travel, so I'm gonna give this one a go. This one is called Griffin's Castle. I've never heard of this, but the back said, magic happens when stone animals come to life. And that just sounds like something I'd enjoy. I then went to a like farmer's market type thing, and there was a local author there, and she was selling some of her books, and she was selling like 3 for $20 or something. So I thought I would support her in that. Her name is T.E. Williams, and the first I got is Afterfall. She told me this is a book about an Inuit woman who is looking for her birth mother, and it leads her to Trenton, New Jersey, which is where these books take place because she is a Trenton author. Twin Towers, she said this was about 2 young men who their parents called them the Twin Towers, and they are like inspirational figures to other boys growing up in the area. And I got Carousel, Generational Curses. She said this is all about generational curses and how people overcome those. I had to exchange a book, so I exchanged 1 book for 3 books, and I had a gift card, so I got 3 of them. The first is Reincarnation Blues by Michael Poore. I've never heard of this book. It caught my eye because it had whales on the cover. I don't know why books with whales on the cover attract my eyes, because I am terrified of whales. I don't think they're cute. I think they're terrifying. What I read in the synopsis, this is about a world in which you get 10,000 tries at life. And this man named Milo, he is on his 9,995th chance at life, but all he really wants to do is fall into the arms of Death, who is his lover. So that just sounded interesting to me. I'm willing to give it a go. I also picked up Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. I've been wanting to give this series a try, but I've just never gotten around to it. So when I saw it there, this is the newly traditionally published version. So hopefully I enjoy it. I do like this cover though. I like this cover a lot. The last one I got is The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill. I believe this is a historical fantasy set, I believe, in the early 1900s, and it has to do with fairies. So hopefully I enjoy it. The next 3 books are books that I bought off of Pango. I sold a bunch of my books and I got a lot of money, so I just turned around and used it to buy new books. The first is Only the Stars Knew Her Name. So this is about the daughter of Tituba, who was the first woman who was accused of witchcraft in Salem. I like my Salem stories, but a lot of them I find are not as great as I want them to be. So I believe this is a middle grade, and I think it's a darker middle grade, but I'm interested in reading this story. The next one I got is The Mirrorwood. This is another middle grade story. I've had it on my radar. I think it was released in 2022, and it was one of the books in my 2022 recent releases that I was still interested in. I got this one mainly because my sister reads middle grade, and she's always like, I would like a book with a really cool embossed cover or sprayed edges. And so when I saw that this one was on Pango Books, it's got this cool embossed cover, it's got a reversible dust jacket, I thought since I was wanting to read it anyway, I would just buy it, and if I don't enjoy it or whatever, I could hand it on to her and she could see if she enjoys it. I've had this on my TBR list for a good like 13 plus years, so I don't know how well this is going to stand up, but it is one that I just can never take off of my TBR list because I'm still interested in reading it, and that is Eyes of Crow by Jerry Smithready. I believe this is a reincarnation story as well, and I want to say it has an indigenous made character, which is one of the reasons why I was still interested in reading it. It also has a crow on the cover, and I am drawn to books with crows on the cover. So this was a disappointment to get from Pango Books because they said it was in excellent condition, which based on this cover and the spine, you would think, yes, that is excellent condition. Unfortunately, the edges are yellowed and it came smelling so bad of smoke that I had to air it out. It still smells like smoke, so hopefully it doesn't give me a headache when I read it, but I think I aired it out enough to the point where I can read it. So we'll see what this one is about. See if a book that's been on my TBR list for 13 plus years is any good. These last few books I got as Easter gifts. So the first one is just a children's book. It is The Little Ghost Who Was a Quilt. I saw Melitta at the Midnight Librarian. She got this and she talked about it, and it just looked so cute that I wanted to get it. It's just about a little ghost who is a quilt instead of a sheet, and so he's so heavy he can't fly. That just sounds cute. I also got Wicked is the Reaper. This is a very short, like, novella. I think I saw a reel on Instagram and it said something spicy, and I was like, I want to read that. So hopefully this is good. I didn't realize it was so short, but I'm interested in this. The last book I got for Easter was A Whisper in the Night. This is I believe it's either a new adult or an adult fantasy romance. It is about a woman who is in an arranged marriage. She doesn't want to be. So when her betrothed's father's favorite guard goes missing, she asks him if she can get out of this arranged marriage by going and bringing back his favorite guard. And I think it's a romance between her and the guard. It's got pictures of the different characters. And it looks like it's got a pretty decent diverse cast of characters as well. So hoping that this is a good one. That is my first haul of 2023. Have you read any of these books? Which one should I prioritize? Or let me know what was the last book that you hauled. And if you've made it this far in the video, could you leave me the $sign emoji because I spent a little too much money. And until my next video, thank you so much for watching, and go buy yourself a new book. Bye. Calm down, man. Calm down.